Hello, Paul.
Hello, JJ.
How are you, sir?
I am fantastic.
You are.
And how are you?
I am also. Yeah, let's go with fantastic. That's a pretty good
Yeah,
description.
let's just go with fantastic.
Yeah.
I think if we say that we're fantastic enough times, we might actually start being fantastic.
That is true. That is true. Oh man. Well, yes. So who are you?
Hi, I'm Paul. I was about to say developer advocate. I'm not that anymore. I am a managed OpenShift black belt at Red Hat.
Nice.
And basically that means I help people with our various managed OpenShift platforms.
Awesome. And hi.
JJ, who are you?
Yes. Hello. I'm JJ Asgar. I'm a developer advocate for the IBM Cloud, and this is Paul's and I normal Thursday stream where we try to do something relatively Kubernetes related or OpenShift related, and we just kind of try to figure stuff out. Is that a good way to describe it?
That is a good way to describe it. Now, coming off our incredibly successful stream last week, you decided you wanted to set us a challenge, right? And make things difficult.
Exactly. I wanted to ramp up our because we were able to get our last stream working, which was if you'd missed it, it was us trying to install the Open Liberty operator and actually pulling down a random Java application and getting it deployed to OpenShift. Um,
Right.
Genuinely, God honest truth, neither of us had ever touched it before, and we were able to get it up and going. So, what are we doing this week?
We wanted to set a challenge for ourselves, and we know that OpenShift is amazing and it works in multiple places. So we thought, why don't we run a couple of clusters on the IBM Cloud
Mm-hmm.
and then run one managed cluster on Amazon and then see if we can use the advanced cluster manager, connect them all up, and then deploy the same app to all three. And if we're then successful at that, see if we can use the uh, global load balancer operator to use DNS to set up like DNS round robin across all three.
Mm-hmm.
So that we have all three serving the same application, serving the same website, whatever.
Nice. Well, so this is going to be interesting. I did not just I just learned about RHACM. Okay.
Yeah, Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management.
uh,
And it is actually, I think, originally came to us from IBM
oh,
on the IBM side of things. And then we did the Red Hat thing of open sourcing an upstream for it and then consuming that to build the product you see on the internet website in front of you.
nice.
So there is an open source version of this that we could attempt as well. But I feel like there's a pretty integrated installation of this. And so I'd rather spend the time learning what it is rather than learning how to write some YAML to install it.
Agreed.
Because, like you, I haven't actually used this myself. I have heard of it. I've said that sounds really cool. And so we're both going to be exploring this brand new. So I think that's enough on our plate to also have to worry about seeing if the open source one actually works and has any weird differences or quirks.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, when you referenced the website, I hadn't actually flipped over to the screen, but here we go. This is the main
Oh,
FAQ
whoops.
for it. It's all good. And hopefully, this will drive us down the thing. I do want to say, Feznuts is a good friend of ours. He said hello, and he's been tweeting recently. He's been having a pretty rough time, so I hope he's happy and healthy. Um, my thoughts and all that jazz are out to you, buddy. I hope you're doing okay. Um, okay, so we have our three clusters here. Um,
Ooh.
we have this one. We got this one, and we have this one. As you see, this one says AWS, and the other two are on IBM Cloud. They are completely blank. which is obviously advantageous. I think there are different sizes, and it looks like they're two different versions, so that's fun. Um, the
That is fun. So what do we got? I'm
we
pretty sure my cluster is 4.7, no, 4.8 maybe. I think we recently just did 4.8.
no, it's 4.7. It looks like right here.
Okay, 4.7. Well, what are you? Like
Yeah,
3.2?
yeah, right. 4.6.23. Um, and I looks like the cluster you spun up here is significantly larger than the clusters that I have running here too. So I have a feeling we should probably should we make the AWS one the main one then because it has more resources, or should we try and use one of the smaller ones and connect to the other way around? What do you think is better here?
I don't think it'll make too much difference.
Okay.
Um, why don't we go with the newer one to be the manager?
Okay.
So I think we just decided the
AWS.
AWS one is slightly newer.
Slightly new.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Um, and I'm letting you drive. So do what you feel you need to do.
All right. So we're going to go to the operator hub. Bring that over here. Operator hub. And then this is going to be the ultimate goal of load balancing, but we are going to go in here. Create a new project namespace. Let's go ahead and just search for ACM.
Oh, hang on. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It was on the first page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So let's go ahead and install.
Mm-hmm.
Let that do a couple minutes here. Oh, no, we have to actually install it. We want to 2.2 seems reasonable.
Yeah.
And it'll create a new namespace.
I think you can leave all the defaults. I don't think we need to worry too much.
All right.
And is that?
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead. That's fine. I was going to mention it looked like there was a prerequisite there, but I think the operator hub is smart enough to install the prerequisites as part of it.
Okay. Okay.
Now, my copy of your screen is super low res, so I can't really read what's going on, but at least I can see the squares and shapes. So we'll see. We'll see how we go from my end of things.
There we go. So the operator is being installed. This may take a few minutes. And once the operator is installed, the requirement custom resource will be available for creation. Then we have another box here that says multi-cluster hub, which I'm assuming is going to be the next step for us here.
Yeah, so my understanding is we're installing the operator, and then the multi-cluster hub is basically the GUI into the operator.
Got
So
it.
that's the thing that's going to give us a view of one or more clusters. And I think what's interesting is because it is an operator, if you had multiple data centers or multiple business units, and you wanted, say, each business unit to have a view at just their own clusters, you could use this operator to spin up multiple multi-cluster hubs and make one available to each.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, just a little tidbit.
All right. I'm actually genuinely excited to see how this plays out because it'd be really nice to have all this being able to map together because this is a good I mean, we're finally might actually bring the promise of, hybrid cloud here if this actually works how we expect it to, because what better place than having your application run in two different clouds.
Right.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to install the multi-cluster hub now. Looks like it's all relatively default. I don't think we should need to do anything advanced here. Don't click. Yeah, image pull secret. Do we need to create an image pull secret? Did I see that earlier?
No, you shouldn't need to do anything there.
Okay. I will create. And it's installing.
All right. While it's installing, do you want to grab your credentials for the cluster and authenticate the put up your magic
Oh yeah,
secret
privacy.
thing?
All right, copy. Close that. All right. So then, while that's going, I'm gonna come over here and paste. Oh, I guess I should do that again. Put that in there. There we go. And then back to the screen. And OC projects. There we go. We are connected.
Looks good to me.
Okay. And we are still installing the multi-cluster hub. This will actually show up on the left-hand side when it's up there, won't it?
It shows up somewhere. It gives you like a link to it.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do it through the GUI, I think. Here we go. Here's creating the web. Looks like the operator hub took care of all those first steps for us, which is good.
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about the secret. Now we need to verify this. Web console under operators. So we go to operator, installed operator. Click on this one. Events. Still installing. Still thinking about it. It's funny, I kind of miss the progress bar, you know? It's kind of weird
But you
just
should be able to um, get to like the logs or
workload.
something, right?
Workload pods, maybe. Because this is the only thing that should be running in here. Yeah, here we go. There's cert manager running. There's our. Oh, looks like everything's running. A few seconds ago. Oh, it must be doing like the actual cert manager stuff now. There we go. Yeah, look,
Yeah.
it's getting smaller. Yeah, here we go. Container creating.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I see there's a few container creatings.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of stuff happening. It just takes its time. It's funny, we're kind of used to things being instantaneous, but you get to something that's actually like a fairly complex, multi-container
Mm-hmm.
application. Suddenly you can sort of see the orchestration and stuff happening in the back end, getting certificates and doing that sort of stuff. It's not so instantaneous.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true. All right. Well, friends watching this in the future and friends watching this now, this is live. So sorry about the delay here, but that's part of the part of the journey.
Right?
Part of the journey.
So JJ, it's not ready yet, but if you look up at the top, there's like a thing that looks like a Rubik's Cube, top right-hand corner of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
If you click that, you can see there's now the Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management for Kubernetes.
Nice. Nice. So on a blank one, it only has the manager. Huh. That's clever. I never actually knew what that was for. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know the right term for that, but I figure if you call the menu bar the hamburger, then this can be the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. Rubik's Cube works. I mean, I was
Yeah.
able to
All right.
identify.
You heard it here first. It's now officially the Rubik's Cube.
I have a little one. So when I'm sitting here bored on meetings, I have something to do.
that why I'm always hearing clacking noises when we're talking?
Exactly. That's exactly the reason why. I think it was like originally.
Oh, do you still have the screen up showing that it's
It's
installing?
run. It's still. Oh, it's looking better. It's looking better. Let's go back to install operators. Succeeded. This looks.
Yeah, so if you click on the multi-cluster hub, it's still showing as phase installing,
Oh, yep, you're right.
unfortunately. Progressing events. Oh. I think, did it just switch to running?
Yes, it did.
All right.
Click on this guy.
Click on this guy.
It is not private.
Yeah, so I think it has a self-signed cert for now. There's no real reason it couldn't be using the cluster cert. And I believe the next version, it will just use the regular cluster cert, so that will go away. And I have seen a patch somewhere to patch it to use the cluster cert. Just happened?
It kicked me out. I'm trying to get back in here.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Looks pretty straightforward.
Oh right, yeah. So what happened there is it's authing against your cluster, and so that's why it kicked you out to auth again. So you have to be authorized to use this cluster to be able to log into the app.
Okay. All right.
It's good because that means you don't have to set up like a secondary LDAP or secondary authentication type setup. So here we are.
I feel like that's the right thing to click.
What are you clicking? The
Um,
burger?
the burger, automate infrastructure, and then clusters probably. And like how you can add them,
Well,
maybe.
why don't we start with
Yeah, add a cluster.
like under okay.
Import an existing cluster.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll call this one workshop 50. Generate, import, and generate code. Copy this command.
Yeah, so basically it gives you a giant command to run against that cluster, and that cluster will then set up the bits to talk back to ACM. So you want to make sure that your context is correct for that other cluster.
Woo-hoo. You weren't kidding about this massive thing. Jeez.
Yeah. I was going to say you should bring up the privacy screen, and then I realized that it's so long that it doesn't really matter.
It really doesn't matter now. All right, so here we go. We got some things being put in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now do the same for the next cluster.
All right. Give me a second. Copy command. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that one.
Oh, hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Yes, Federation is real. Well, we hope it's real, Chris. That's what we're finding out.
All right. So then we can.
Isn't that the name of like? Isn't that a Star Trek thing? The Federation.
Yeah, the Federation of Planets. That is correct.
That's it. Wow. See, I'm a nerd. I know things.
So should I tell you about Starship Troopers? I mean, I mean, we can sit here some time, and I can go through all 5 movies if you'd like.
I would like to know more.
Hi, there we go. Nice. Nice. Another reason why we get along so well, my friend. Another reason why we get along so well. Okay. Looks like we've got things happening on our clusters. You know?
What a shame we don't have time to talk about Starship Troopers.
Oh, boo. It's fine. It's fine.
Next time we have a long, awkward pause waiting for something to happen, we can get you to give us the rundown. You can explain to us the correct watch order of the Starship Troopers universe.
Does that count the anime from Japan? Where does that fit into the role? Because technically, it's a spur.
You're in charge, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You're in charge.
Okay, all right.
So you do it how you do it. It definitely includes Super Troopers.
Ah, yes, there you go. Nice.
Which is, I think, the Canadian Starship Troopers. Is that right?
Close enough. Close enough. Management. Open cluster management name. Here we go. This is our project, and we got 3 deployments going, and they look like they're all up and running. So if we come back over here, no, not here, here, clusters, we got things checking in. Hey, hold on.
Oh, look at that.
Hold on. I'm going to do the applause.
Oh, you made it worse.
Okay, so
I was going to say that's really loud in my ears.
I can make it worse if you want.
You need to work on your audio balancing levels, sir.
Yeah. Let's see here. And yet, yes, Chris, there really are 5 movies. We can talk about that at a later date if you so choose. So we've got 5150. So let's look at 50 first here. The provider's IBM Cloud, so it's actually checked in. It's 3 nodes. We don't have any applications, and that's fine. Does it show? Oh, look, it's Did you see this? It's still checking in.
I gotta say, that's pretty great that it can figure out that it's running on IBM Cloud.
Yeah, it really can. And it's checking in too. So it didn't happen immediately. So we should see 51 here in a second. And as you see, we see the cloud here also. We actually got real labels off of this too. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, man. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I just want to see the next slide.
And you can also, while that's waiting, did you see the provider connections button?
Provider connections button. Yes.
Towards the top. So unfortunately, if you click add a connection, you can actually connect it to various platforms as well. Sadly, I don't see IBM Cloud on there, but I believe you can start getting cluster and other resource information from the clouds as well.
Oh. Ooh. So wait, does that mean if I had a vSphere cluster somewhere, I could connect this to that, and then that vSphere cluster could actually use this Kubernetes cluster with the vSphere stuff?
So I believe it's more about being able to deploy other OpenShift clusters, and maybe even if like we have an AWS operator, we might be able to deploy databases and stuff through
Got it. Okay.
Refresh.
Yeah,
it's still not showing the second workshop.
Here we go. There we go. Just took a second.
There it is.
It was just.
Well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just a little bit behind the curve.
Right.
Okay. All right, so what's next?
Can we go to what's under the hamburger menu? There's like a observe environments. Mm-hmm. What do we see there? It's probably just another view at what's going on.
2 clusters in IBM, 1 cluster there, 3 clusters, 12 nodes.
Oh, cool. So this is just kind of across everything, what all is happening. So these are, I got to say, these are 3 fairly fresh OpenShift clusters. Mm-hmm. And there's nearly 600 pods running. That's a lot of infrastructure.
It really is.
And in fact, there's a lot of infrastructure that OpenShift is managing for us. Now, there is also, you can do compliance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where are you? What did you
So
click?
I clicked on the pods to just see what was actually running. Oh, it's a 680
Oh,
pods
cool.
now. So we can actually drill down into it. So I've like the operations engineer in me is already like giddy because I could
Mm-hmm.
see this being on like in your office. Well, assuming we ever go back to offices, like on a TV where you have all of your Kubernetes clusters across your multi hybrid cloud story, and you can actually see to make sure that we don't have any failing pods happening, so our application's up and running
Mm-hmm.
is what we expect. Like it's this whole overview right here is as simple and as straightforward as it is. This is really, really nice. Like this is what I used to try to create when I was playing around with VMs all the time.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Check this out. If you go up to the hamburger menu,
Yep.
go to automate infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
click on bare metal.
Bare metal. No foul.
Now hit create bare metal asset.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we don't have anything to hook up to it,
Mm-hmm.
but interesting. You can enter your credentials for
Oh,
your iDRAC or whatever.
yeah.
So I bet you that it would then give us the ability to do some like basic like power cycling and stuff of
Oh,
bare metal machines. So
oh.
it'd be interesting to dig deeper into that at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Hell,
if
you're right.
you know
iJack and
we
IPMI
even
right
had
there.
bare metal,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Well, actually, I could do it. Um, the IBM Cloud has many things. IPMI and
That's
iDRAC,
true.
right here. You're right. So as long as we can get a route to it, you're right. This truly is like a high level. What's going on? That's really cool.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, unless you happen to have one lying around, at some point, it'd be interesting to spin up a physical machine in the IBM Cloud
Yep.
and see if we can get the remote console
Uh,
and see what it looks like.
we'd have to do some weird networking stuff, but we could make this
Well, of
happen.
course, it's the cloud. It's all weird networking stuff.
That's true. That is true.
So there's a govern risk button.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you look at the hamburger menu again, I'm not really sure what the deal is there. Um,
Should I create a policy?
yeah, so it looks like we would need to read a bunch of docs on how to write policies and stuff.
Mm.
But I believe it lets us to basically set up a bunch of rules that we'll basically test our clusters against to make sure that um, they're following your internal compliance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here we go. Limited
Oh yeah,
container
there's
use.
specifications, all sorts of stuff there. IAM policies, namespaces. So I'm gonna guess maybe this is something akin to is it Gatekeeper?
Yes. Yep.
What's
Well,
the thing you write Rego for?
there we go. Install gatekeeper operator. So we could actually have this enforced to make sure gatekeeper's there to make sure that it's being
Right,
enforced.
cool. So this might be another thing to look at another time. It might be worth us hunting down someone who knows what they're doing and say, hey, give us 30 minutes on these policies, because I bet
Mm-hmm.
there's some interesting stuff happening there. But let's go back to the burger menu. Let's do manage applications. Let's see if we can get something deployed to these suckers.
Hey
And
Chris,
that'll probably take some time, so you can talk us through some Starship Troopers.
yeah, I was gonna say, Chris, if you can find someone to help us with that policy, that would be really really nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I have a really bad cloud native app that I use as my example for everything.
Has there ever been a good one?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty safe to say. They're all pretty bad.
I mean, as long as it's not WordPress.
Yeah, exactly. GitHub.com.
Someone
So,
else quietly judging that JJ's using Safari.
hey man, ever since I started
Well, I
using,
guess.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
Ever since I started using Safari with both of my Macs and my iPhone, everything's like
Mm-hmm.
unified. So
Mm-hmm.
like I have like consistent like like a consistent history, which makes my life so much easier when I'm trying to look for stuff.
Makes sense. Also, it means that you're not using 75% of a 4-core machine just to run your browser.
Exactly. Python.
All right. So what are you doing here? Talk us through what you're doing.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm thinking. Namespace of.
Well, talk while you think.
Okay, so what I've done is, as you see here, this create application. I have to create a unique name for it. And so you can also see here, it's building out the YAML for me, which is really cool. I need to put it in some namespace away from everything else. And I have a very basic Python app here that all it does is literally returns whatever I say on port 8080 here. We could play with the health check later if we wanted to. But the idea is you have a very basic Flask app with Python that you have to build from scratch to make sure that it all works. And this is a really easy way for me to explain the process without actually delving into an application. So from what I can tell, if I go to this Git here, and I go ahead and put a Git URL in here, hopefully it will, as you see, it's already, oh, that's weird. gghub.com.
I've seen that before as well, somewhere. I don't know that it's necessarily a problem.
Well, yeah, they're all, it looks like they're just unique names, but still,
Yeah.
it looks gross. And then we're doing, doesn't look like it did the validation like the other does on like normally if you do it through the basic, this guy.
It actually figures out that it's a Python app, and
Exactly.
yeah, I
Exactly.
think probably because it's like a slimmed down version of that interface.
Okay. All right. We don't need to worry about that because it's all public. We don't worry about that. Don't have to worry about that either. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so what's interesting there, hang on, if you pop that back up. So if you have to do something really complicated, like set up like some F5 load balancers to do WAF and or like load balancing for the app that you're deploying across multiple clusters, you would write an Ansible playbook to do that. And then this would call that to then perform that work.
That's
So
actually,
it's that's
yeah,
pretty interesting.
that is pretty slick. By the way, we are going to do a tower stream at some point. I'm really digging AWS, but I need to get my hands on actual tower because
Right.
I'm moving more into a more production like environment, and I want to be able to say that I'm using the supported, not the upstream, because people are starting to rely on my stuff, and that's something I got to do.
Absolutely.
Um,
Well, we can probably figure something like that out. Get you some licenses. Some subscriptions. I'm not allowed to call them licenses.
okay, so we're gonna we have to give it at least a label of something, and what we're gonna do is just how about
Well, hang on.
okay.
So what you're doing here is you're choosing your deployment method, right? And so this label is determining which clusters it would be deploying to. So it would look for clusters that have this
Oh,
label. So that's not what you want.
no, it's not.
You want instead,
Mm-hmm.
what
We
are you
need to.
doing?
I'm going back out here to see what the labels are without losing this website, right? Because I can't actually
Yeah,
see.
there was a checkbox that says just deploy to everything.
Oh, oh, I guess that's easier. Okay. But just to make sure that people in the future see, my plan was to look at these labels and try to, honestly, what I was going
Yeah.
to lean towards is this vendor OpenShift, because they're all OpenShift clusters. They all have that. I thought we could just
Right.
kind of shotgun that, but that works also. All right. And then we want to always active, right?
Yeah.
And we don't care about that. Okay, this looks pretty straightforward.
It does.
So we got our namespace of stream because I couldn't think of anything better. We got our
Mm-hmm.
application, and then we've got our namespace. So we have two namespaces being created. Interesting. Then we create a channel of the actual repo. Then we create a subscription. And we create a placement rule. So
Yeah, so the namespace, the second namespace is for the actual app, like metadata.
Okay.
So the channel and the subscription are going into there. So I think that's just so that it's separating the metadata from the actual app itself.
But I don't see it.
Or the meta app maybe is the.
Don't
Yeah,
see
well, because how can it make a deployment when it hasn't even compiled the code?
Good point. Very good point. Okay. So basically,
I would guess that one of the other things in there is gonna do the rest. So what was the one above subscription?
that is
What were
channel.
the three? There was subscription, channel. And see, the channel is type Git. So I bet the channel is what's going to get it to start doing
the
building. We'll find out.
Yeah. So I almost thought that this was like trying to create almost an operator for it. Like this is us declaring the operator to be able to do the thing, but that's not accurate. So I'm
No, this is declaring the resources to go to the various operators to perform the builds and etc. I think.
Yep. So
Again, we're doing this without reading docs. I'm sure if we read the docs, it would tell us what's going on.
Oh, here we go. We're actually getting things. We've made placements, and now we're on the subscription. Oh, holy crap! I gotta admit that was neat. So if we come over here to one of the other clusters, we call it stream. There it is. It's already created the namespace. So if we come into overview, no, projects, created, stream. Start seeing things show up in here. Here we go. The PVC is being created now. Why is it creating PVC? I don't have anything to run with PVC. Oh, because it's got to make this. Got it. It's got to build the thing. Okay. Pup USA Drill asked, has the cybersec boomed since the pipeline hacks? Actually, to be frank, cybersecurity has been on everyone's mind well before the pipeline hacks. It's safe to say that, especially in the cloud native ecosystem that Paul and I live in, and the DevOps ecosystem before that, we've been trying to bring security and pipeline, or to overload the term, pipelines together for a very long time. It's unfortunate certain companies are not shifting that stuff to the left, which is actually causing frustration and situations like what happened with the oil pipeline or the gas pipeline recently. But hopefully, the world will start seeing that security should be brought in earlier to conversations. And if you want to see a really good example of that, the book by Gene Kim called The Phoenix Project, which is in essence this generation's version of The Goal by Eliyahu Goldratt, has some amazing conversations around I believe his name is John, who is the security expert there. Hopefully I answered your
What did
question.
you say his name was?
Pup USA Dro. Oh, you
Is
mean
that Goldrat's first name?
Ilyahu? Yeah, Ilyahu Goldrat.
I thought it was Elliot Goldrat.
I thought it was Ilyahu.
Have I been saying it wrong the whole time?
I mean,
Or maybe you're saying it wrong the whole time. Either way, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We all know who Goldrat is, and that's all that matters.
Right.
So, cool. All right, we're getting somewhere, hopefully. I mean, things are happening. I'm seeing checkboxes show
Now,
up.
that looks, well, I'm seeing something that's definitely not a checkbox over on the right.
Deployment config. Oh, yeah, it's still waiting for other stuff. It looks like it's being gated by other things being built.
All right. So is now a good time to walk us through the Starship Troopers universe, JJ?
We could, but let's see where this PVC is first. Hang on. So this one's been bound. So things should be building here. Where the hell's build?
Hey, does Pitch Black count as a Starship Troopers universe? Because it's the creatures, the bad creatures are pretty similar.
Yeah. So no, not exactly. I mean, that's really like then arguably any alien movie would be considered part of the Starship Troopers universe.
I mean, but they're really similar aliens, right?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Fine.
I could see the Fast and
All
the
right.
Furious ecosystem and Riddick kind of come together because honestly, Vin Diesel really is a superhero now. Like he is like it's rumored that in Fast and Furious 9 they actually are going into space. So, you know.
Of course they are.
Where else are you going to go? You've already thrown a submarine. Like Dwayne Johnson threw a full submarine in the last movie.
Of course he did.
Yeah. So.
All right, did we kill enough time? Where are we at?
No, I don't think we have. It's weird. The build we have a build config, but it hasn't actually started.
Okay.
And why is it doing that? That's not right.
Wait, what's wrong with that?
That's not the place, is it? Oh, that's right. I named it it's a 302. It's a 302 redirect.
Right.
Okay. Nothing's quite happening yet.
Interesting. It's got it had webhooks. Do we need to do something with those webhooks?
I think we can eventually probably configure it to do it. Oh no, see look, things are still going.
Right. Are you able to what's still going?
Just give me cluster resources.
Well, no, like down the bottom you can see it looks like pipeline resource task and task are still going.
Yeah. Not deployed. The git clone hasn't even started yet.
Oh, that's what those are.
Yeah. This is the actual test pipeline. That's the test pipeline. Oh, aha. Is this using Tecton underneath it?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, usually when you have like a pipeline and then a pipeline run, this smells a lot like Tecton because you declare the pipeline and then you have a pipeline run that actually runs the object, right? So this smells a lot like Tecton.
Interesting.
But we still don't. We've got the build config pushed out, so we're sitting waiting for something. Don't actually know what though. Clusters. I'm gonna click away from this real quick. Where is the status? Any way for me to get any statuses here? Launch health view.
So you've got build configs. Are there any actual builds below it?
No. Build configs. Where'd you see that? Build configs. No.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at I'm thinking about in the other cluster.
Oh yeah, no, not yet. No build found.
Interesting. So under build config, is there something? Is there like a
Start.
run build now action or something?
You
What are the
start.
options under
You
action?
can start a build, but we want the ACM to do that for us, don't we?
I mean, I think we do, but I'm also tempted to say YOLO. Let's press a button and see what happens.
I'd just give it a. I mean, I think it's eventual consistency. That's what it's like. The placements have checked under a checkbox. Also, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Just a couple more minutes before we start forcing things.
So if you click on the pipeline resource that's still rolling.
Pipeline resources still rolling. Pipeline, this one?
Yeah, any of the ones that look like they're still in action.
Oh, there it is. Tecton.
So in that case, if you open up the console, can we like hunt down where Tecton is installed and see if we can see what's going on?
It should be inside of the Tecton namespace.
JJ, if you're gonna fart, can you mute your microphone?
I didn't fart. I was trying to think.
Oh. You made a weird farty noise.
Yeah, sorry. I used to have a tongue piercing, and I used to roll it around my mouth. And ever since I got rid of it, I do that when I think. So.
Right.
Yeah. Really, there's no Tecton.
I mean, okay, so why don't we get on like the console for the cluster, the actual like command line.
Yeah.
And then we can start with some basic like get CRDs and make sure the Tecton CRDs are installed. Which cluster are we connected to? Check your context.
The second one.
You need to run kubectx. Yeah. And then you can make sure that because we want to be on the main one, which should be
this one.
Oh yeah, yep. And so now do a kubectl get CRDs and then grep for Tecton.
Nope.
That's fine. Oh, did it finish and not return anything?
Correct.
Interesting. So now drop the use your words. Drop the context to one of the clusters. Well, actually, even this cluster should be deploying the app.
Yep.
So, and the Tecton resources are they're named Tecton, right? So it's like pipeline.tecton or whatever.
Yeah. But normally you put Tecton in its own namespace. Just so it doesn't step on it.
Well, I mean, if there's no CRDs installed, Tecton's not installed. Or at least there's no point in it being installed. So that's why like the first thing I want to do is check for the resources.
Yeah.
CRDs.
Oh, it looks like the main controller has namespaces for each of the clusters, and it looks like it has just a cert side of it. So we will be building it on each machine.
Yeah, so okay, the API version for Tecton stuff is Tecton. So we should totally see these.
There's gotta be a. Oh,
So
hold on. We got something in a warning state now.
That's been in the warning state the whole time.
No, it hasn't.
That's the deployment config.
It was 3600.
I just brought us back to here.
It did, didn't
Remember, because this is what we looked at earlier, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this doesn't mean anything. It's just waiting for the other stuff to happen."
I think so. Yeah.
So I wonder if you did have some docs
Yeah.
for installing Advanced Cluster Manager. I wonder if it's going to have something about Tecton in there that we just kind of didn't look at
I
because
lost those docs.
we don't read docs.
Yeah, I lost those docs. Give me a minute. You just send me right back there. Yeah. Now, are you actually building? Generator from the subscription. Is there like a deploy button we gotta hit or something?
No, I think there's something missing. Like I think it's missing Tecton or something, and we need to
Install Tecton.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to find instructions for.
Yeah, docs haven't jumped out of me yet.
Yeah.
You'd think the operator would install it, right?
You would think so?
Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. On the main one, the PVC for Conoco source PVC is still in pending state.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what's happening. Even
Oh,
though
interesting.
the IBM Cloud ones are done, right? It's probably waiting for them all to check in before moving forward.
Okay. So what's the reason for pending?
Hang on, I'm one thing at a time here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, so this is just stuck in pending.
Okay.
Events. Are you so 3 minutes ago? It's still just churning on that. I don't have access to other than this, I believe. Right? I mean, I guess.
Just like kubectl describe it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Ah, crap. Hang on.
I already got you. I got you, fool.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Okay. So it says waiting for first consumer before binding.
What does that mean?
So well, that means there's no pod trying to use it. So it's not creating it. So if we ctx change to
You want to just nuke the
other ones.
A pod? Nuke the
Well,
pod?
I want to see what the other ones are doing.
They're bound and ready. It's down, up, up. C15, the top one. C15, that one. That's one of them.
So NS stream, we get all. So it has a deployment config and a build config there. So it doesn't have any pods or anything either. Okay, describe pod.
PVC.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, so here's, I think, the deal. I think, let's just do edit PVC. I wonder if this is just a difference in the storage. And the IBM Cloud Storage provisions anyway, whereas the Amazon one waits for something to try and use it. So why don't we pop back to the app? And can we change the deployment to only go to the IBM Cloud ones?
Probably. So we want to delete this one, right?
I don't know. Can we edit it?
Yes.
All right. So this is where the tags are going to come into handy, because there's a like provider equals IBM Cloud or something like that.
What are the
tags?
I thought it was cloud.
I can't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
Cloud equals all caps IBM.
Like that?
Yeah.
Update.
And then update. So what does that look like?
It's probably deleted it now.
No. So this is back on that one. So let me change the kube context again. Oh.
Nope, still there.
I was hoping that no, this is the IBM context still. I was hoping it would the context in each tmux. You get PVC. Yeah, okay, so the PVC is gone now. Oh, look, build config now has a check. it was deployment that was the problem. Never mind.
This has changed though, so we don't have the local cluster on here anymore.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But I'm not seeing any movement on the others.
Go back to the the IBM ones. See if they recreated them. Yeah, it's still here.
But it should be.
I would think we try to roll.
No, it's Kubernetes, dude. If you don't change it, it doesn't
Oh, I guess it's true.
change.
Yeah. I guess you're right. You're right.
So let's do describe build config.
Oh, here, let me bring that back over.
Hello.
Hmm.
Create resource subscription, kind deployment config. Okay, get all describe. Come on. Why are you being so slow?
Yep. Oh, it's not happy at all, is it?
No. CTX. What was the other one?
The one right below it, I believe.
The other 115?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Maybe we should just delete all the installations, and just try it without AWS.
That's what we did.
No, we removed AWS. I said we just go back to 0 and try it with just AWS, or just with IBM.
I don't think that's the problem.
Okay.
I think that's just an interesting side effect. Does not have minimum availability. Image stream tag. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could try. Why don't you try creating a new app rather than deleting this one?
Okay.
Let's create a new app. And then, can we pick a Helm chart?
Sure.
Just thinking, maybe if there's something wrong with building from Git, maybe. So hang on, let me grab you. Actually, you should just do it. Just go to Artifact Hub. That's fine. That's a fine one to do. And then I don't know what sounds interesting. Ghost, because old mate Pesnance mentioned Ghost.
It's good enough for me.
So we should be able to grab that URL right there. Yep. URL there. And then chart name ghost.
Isn't it Benami Ghost?
No, the chart name itself is ghost. Yeah. And then
Cloud IBM.
Yep.
And save.
Sure.
Thinking about it. This application has no match subscription. Make sure subscription max. Oh, here we go. Wow, that's significantly faster. We got our secret. We got our. So if you want to bring up, I put it in namespace called second stream. So if you want to change that namespace to second stream.
And next second stream.
Looks like we're waiting on some PVCs now.
Look.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Still waiting on this.
It is happening. So there was something not right with the build stuff?
I think so.
And I guess because we're doing a Helm chart, it doesn't have to worry so much about that.
Yeah. Question though is because we're installing this on two different clusters and we're creating PVC for both, we'll have two different...
The database and stuff will be different. Yeah. I wasn't too worried about that. I mean, the way we would do this is have the database in one spot and have a replica going to the other and do, whatever.
Yeah.
Database replication. But really, we're just concerned about the front end.
Yeah. Let's give it a couple more minutes and then we'll... If that's stateful set to get.
So there's some PVCs, so that PVCs look like they're coming along.
It's probably doing the database migrations right now. Right?
Oh, there's no pods. Okay, get deployments.
That's weird. Yeah, cluster status for the stateful set is 0 pods.
This is cool because it's installed with Helm. I can do a Helm LS.
Can you describe that stateful set apps for us?
Oh, it's a stateful set. Interesting. Okay, get state set. Set.
There we go. OpenShift.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Pop back to the config page for it. And is there a place we can override the Helm values? No, not here. The app itself.
Not seeing anything
Interesting.
obvious.
Scroll back up to the top. I mean, there must be a way to modify the values, right?
It's not in the YAML either.
So it must be under the subscription, package overrides. There must be something we can do in the subscription to do it, but ugh. At least this is a step forward.
Is there a OpenShift Ghost?
I was going to say, look for OpenShift Helm charts. Well, that's just the, yeah.
Stable Ghost. Oh god, this is 2 years old. No.
Right.
That's not what we want.
Well, it doesn't have to be Ghost, right?
Yeah.
So doesn't IBM have a bunch of curated Helm charts? That's the
No.
Artifact Hub.
We're getting closer to moving everything to operators.
Okay. But the charts are probably still there.
IBM.
Oh, there's got to be
This is all.
something
No,
simple.
hold on. How about is there like an OpenShift?
Hang on, go back up a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw something about OpenShift Python something.
JavaScript
OpenShift Cloud.
client OC via Python script.
Oh, it's a Tecton task. You need to scroll up.
Uh-huh.
There's a spot where you can say only give me Helm charts.
Wildfly? Don't even know what that is. Oh, are we gonna spend a stream trying to get Ghost working on OpenShift now? We are, aren't
So we'd be able to do it fairly simply if we had access to put values in. So I guess what we could do is with subscriptions. So if you pop back to the cluster manager. So where in here? So subscription, and it mentions the channel being charts bitnami, right? So what we need to do is find the docs for apps.openclustermanagement subscription.
This one?
I'm not sure which one. I'm trying to look for
There's no license on this. We could rebuild this Docker file and put the user of 1001 in there. Oh no, it is user 1001. So it is actually, this should work. Why didn't it work?
Yeah, I know. It was an FS group setting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And Feznuts gave us this.
But do a search for values, word search, because we're just trying to figure out how to change home values.
Use the schema validation of values provided by to the chart.
Yeah, that doesn't help us. We're not looking to validate the schema. We're looking at how to. Can't even find docs for the CRD itself. Hang on, clusters, channels. It was a channel, right? Or is it a subscription?
It's a channel.
Oh, it's a subscription. So subscriptions API. Home API. Yeah, I'll shoot you a link to what I'm looking at.
Give me a second.
Where I'm at. Overview. Releases. Oh no, this is the API itself, not the. All right. I don't know if we're gonna figure this out.
It's okay. Let me pull it back over to us talking. Okay, so we wanted to challenge. It's safe to say we did challenge ourselves here, and we actually did get things to work for the most part. ACM is actually pretty impressive when you put it down to it. We just ran into some, honestly weirdness with it. That normally, if we were doing this in a real production environment, we would not have to worry about most of this stuff. We were just pulling random stuff from upstream internet. So, Paul, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you feel like you learned?
So look, I think the management side of things, being able to see the cluster, see what's going on, that'll look super cool. But I feel like the actual deployment is about applications has let us down. I don't know if it's the service itself or the docs or us just flailing around, not really knowing what we're doing. But I feel like we failed. It failed the mean time to dopamine test when it came to actually deploying applications.
Yeah.
Given that we tried doing both building from Git and also deploying from a Helm chart. Oh, hang on.
Hmm.
As I'm speaking, I just found this. Let me see what I can do. Mm, uh, so I just found an example,
Mm-hmm.
and here the package overrides. This here looks like what we might be needing to set to update the values.
Mm.
I don't know if we want to give that a shot or if we want to just say we're good and maybe pick it up another time.
Yeah, let me put this over just so people can see
Oh,
it.
you know what? This isn't, never mind. This isn't for the Helm channel, so
No, it's for the dev Helm
it's not going to
repo or
help.
something.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Maybe that's not going to.
We want,
Anyway.
yeah, we wanted to challenge ourselves. We did.
Yeah.
We are obviously going to come back to this at some point, because I do see the whole hybrid story is, it's important. And if you have a great way to like loop all your Kubernetes and OpenShift clusters together to run an application, especially across clouds, that's a powerful, powerful story. So,
Right.
all right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. Say bye, Paul.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us, and see you again next week.
Bye.